Welcome back from that break. Straight up, we dive into our discussion segment for today. And now we turn our attention to the People's Democratic Party, Nigeria's main opposition platform, which, of course, has for years now been battling a string of internal crises that have raised questions about its stability, relevance, and preparedness to challenge for power. Now, since the aftermath of the 2023 general elections, the PDP has struggled to maintain cohesion. At the heart of the party's leadership crisis is the unresolved suspension of its national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, following a vote of no confidence by his ward executives in Benue State. Now, that move sparked legal and political battles, deepened factional divides, and weakened the party's national image. The cracks became more evident with the lingering discontent from the G5 governors, the friction over zoning arrangements, and the absence of a clear path forward on key party decisions. But could things be finally shifting? After the party's landmark 100th National Executive Committee meeting held in Abuja, there was cautious optimism. Despite expectations of fireworks and possibly drastic leadership changes, the NEC opted for continuity. Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary and pledging to focus on unity, reconciliation, and reorganization ahead of the 2027 general election. It also resolved to set up a committee to review the party's performance in 2023 and chart a reform path forward. So the question this morning is the PDP genuinely on the mend, or are these moves merely cosmetic gestures to paper over deeper cracks? Joining us to unpack these issues is Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate, PDP stalwart and an apex leader of the concerned PDP League. He joins us to help us understand where the party stands and what its future holds. I am so sorry, sir. I had to come back to you, okay? I need you to... I hope I did not murder your name. I think you butchered it. I butchered it. Yes. Please kindly correct me. You know, it's a tribal name, but I would love to hear, you know, the real pronunciation of your name.
No problem. Daboikiabo Warmate.
Oh, okay. I think we're gonna do. We're gonna do that.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, sorry. Can I just
go ahead?
Okay. So today we're looking at, you know, the PDP being that there are a lot of crises that have happened within the party, you know, and we're wondering, with the intense internal conflict in the PDP, especially regarding the disputed position of the National Secretary, where we saw Samuel Anyanwu and Sunday Ude Okoye when, you know, they contested for that particular seat. And just yesterday during the NEC meeting, when Damagu was addressing journalists, he stated that, you know, part of what they discussed was, you know, to allow Samuel Anyanwu to continue as the National Secretary. So with that, do you think that the PDP has come to a conclusion of, you know, attacking or rather solving the internal crisis that they have when it comes to leadership in their party?
Well, let me thank you for the privilege and correct statement there. There was no time Udokoye attempted to contest for the position of the National Secretaryship. And in the words of the Supreme Court, they call him an interloper, maybe some interloper. So that is about that. Anyanwu, since December 9th, 2021, has remained the National Secretary of our great party. And also, he has never resigned from the party or his position. And since he joined PDP in 1998, he has remained a staunch member of the party and leader. Having said that, now in the yesterday meeting, yes, there was internal or interest wrangling, as I prefer to call it, within our party. And finally, yesterday, initially it was called caucus meeting, expanded caucus meeting, but having gone through the constitution, they decided to call it NEC, you know, as initially planned. And after that meeting, they have seen reasons with what some of us have been saying all this while when the issue of the national secretaryship of our party started. And in the wisdom of the Constitution, of the Supreme Court judgment, of the INEC and the NEC yesterday, it was unanimously pronounced that Anyanwu continues and remains the national secretary of our party. That is the only issue we had, before now. Okay. And having resolved that issue, I think we are ready to give Nigeria what is expected of us. Strong opposition, transiting to becoming the ruling party. Okay. Yes.
All right. With these party, or should I say internal crises and conflicts that have been going on, aside from PDP, other parties are having it. But then in PDP, a lot of people are saying the main issue that is causing that internal crisis is due to the segregation of other members of, the party when it comes to decision making.
No, you see, there has never been segregation under the leadership of most distinguished Ambassador Umar Ilia Damagu, the acting national chairman of our great party, and also His Excellency Ambassador, most distinguished senators, in Samuel Emeka Anyanwu. They are one of the finest national chairman and secretary we've had. And in such a time, it is a blessing to have the dual to be national chairman and secretary, and they have been doing their best. You can imagine the tension we have faced since the oyster of Iyochayu. They have been managing the party, and they have never been found wanting in handling party affairs or not even party finances. And we should commend them. But having said that, I want party faithful, and most especially our leaders, to commend the National Secretary in the person of Senator Samuel Emeka Anyanwu for his disposition. During this period, he has displayed, commitment to the party. Some people wouldn't have tolerated what was done to him, trying to harass him, embarrass him, and, disgrace him. But despite that, when the party leadership talked to him, he will abide by what he said and remain calm pending when this issue is being resolved. So nobody is being sidelined. Nobody is not carried along. Everybody, every well-meaning member of the PDP is being carried along. And you can see that yesterday, that was why it was resolved, knowing fully well that the Constitution gave Anyanwu the powers to contest election without resigning. And some people that have intentions to, become national secretary through the back door went to court and all of that. But we have gone past that. Right. Now we want to put our party in a position whereby Nigerians will want to say, yes, this is a PDP we know, and it has started yesterday. Right. And our leaders are making, putting frantic effort to make sure that we don't disappoint Nigerians.
All right. So with all the speculations surrounding, PDP not having its house in order, what would you say about the recent defections that have been going on, moving from PDP to, the opposition party APC, as well as the talks of a coalition between PDP and LP, with them having their own internal issues as well?
Well, let me say that we have gone past the internal issues, because the major issue was the issue of the national secretaryship of our party, and we have gone above that. Now, talking about the campaign, we have had that experience not once. Even a serving vice president of our great party decamped to another party, and even governors decamped during the 2014 era. But what happened? They are back. Most of them are back, and they are regretting their actions. And we know that those that are decamping will regret their actions because they are not decamping in the interest of the people. But PDP is a party that is for the people. PDP is a party that Nigerians are looking up to. And if you are leaving PDP, you are not leaving PDP based on principle, then you have cause to regret it. A lot of them are regretting it. And if you, in the words of the former Senate president, he said they'll come back. He said it because he has experienced it. He has left and he saw that there is no other party but PDP. There's no other party than PDP. So we came back, and all of them that is leaving or that want to leave, we know will come back because they are not doing it in the interest of their people. And that is it. And talking about coalition, yes, our national chairman, Ambassador Damagu, has said it. Our National Secretary, Snitanya, was the first that made that statement that the party is not going into any coalition. The party will prefer to go into collaboration with other political parties or even welcome members of other political parties to its fold. And our governors forum has emphasized that. So that is the position of the party. Any other one is individuals trying to romance with the coalition, but as a party, as PDP has taken position, and the position is that we can go into collaboration but not coalition.
All right. But then, as you spoke about, the defections and decamping, as it is said, you talked about it being a situation where they would eventually come back. But then as people keep moving, do you think it does have a negative impact on PDP as of this moment?
Well, let me say that there is no way, to be honest, that one or two persons leaving the party, it will not affect the party. It might not affect the party in the sense of, what is it called, vote, but in the area of financing. Like governors leaving the party, in the area of finance, it can affect the party. But the truth remains that Nigerians are in love with PDP. You saw what happened to the Akwa Ibom State governor when he announced that he was leaving the party. You saw what happened to the former governor of Delta State when the women were the one that challenged him and so on and so forth. So PDP is not moved by the decamping of its members because PDP has not been in power because of members. It has been in power for 16 years, or it was in power for 16 years because of Nigerians. And Nigerians love PDP. Today they are yearning, they are begging us that please come back to power. I received calls yesterday after this issue was resolved. Oh, thank God this issue has been resolved and we are looking up to you people to come back to power and so forth and so on. So we are not looking at those ones that are decamping. We are focusing on Nigerians, and we know that Nigerians are the one that will bring us back to power.
Okay, so one major flashback, was the suspension of Senator Iyorchia Ayu as the national chairman. Now, from your view, was that action legitimate, and was it in the best interest of the party?
Well, if you say that action was legitimate, following the pronouncement of the court, I would say yes, because I cannot fault what the court has said. The court said his word has removed him, and so shall it be, and that was why he was removed. He even went to appeal court to appeal the judgment. So the court has said it should be removed. Now, looking at, although we've passed that, but let me throw the light. Looking at our Constitution, Section 7(3)(c), I would say that since the then national chairman, with due respect to him, having said that if the presidential candidate emerged from the north, is going to step aside, refuse to step aside, and that action was taken against him, it will be fair to say that was a right action that was taken. Because you don't change a region. You don't make people feel not belonging to the family. And he said it by his own mouth that he will step aside, but refused to step aside. And that action was taken against him, and today we have, we are where we are. But having said that, we have gone past that. We're a family now. We have resolved our issues, both the Iyorchia issue and now the Senator Anyanwu issue. But
you will agree with me that one of the major issues, facing most especially the PDP is zoning. So if you say that the party has been able to, manage that, are you now telling us that, Nigerians will no longer be hearing about the zoning issue in the PDP?
No, you see, we should be frank about whatever we are talking about. It's like saying that you are in a relationship and you will not quarrel at all. Maybe you've had the first one and you never quarrel. No, there will be time to time you'll see people, some will want to project their interests above the interests of the party. Issues like that will come up, and Nigerians might hear it. But one thing is clear, we have talked about it. Even now we're talking about the 2027, that the presidency should be zoned to the south. And we have been urging the zoning committee that will be set up, or that has been set up, to look at that because that is one of the issues that led to the tension and interest wrangling within the party that brought us thus far. So it is something that is very, germane in our constitution in section 7(3)(c) that we pay attention to it. But having said that, we may have one or two persons that want to work against the zoning formula, just like it happened in 2023. But we want to assure Nigerians, just like we have overcome everything that they've seen we went through, we also overcome that. If peradventure it surfaces or rears its ugly head.
We hope so.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk about the PDP's 100th NEC meeting. As speculations, it was expected to be very stormy, yet many say it ended on a very peaceful path. So rather than reforms. So what are your impressions of the outcome of the meeting?
Well, it's something that initially we were made to understand, and the notice that was issued by the authority recognized by our constitution was that there is going to be an expanded caucus meeting. I believe there was a compromise after the leaders met, and also looking at the constitution, because after the convention, the next highest ranking body in the constitution is the NEC, and the NEC looked at it and said, okay, we have said we are going to hold NEC. So they called it NEC. But if you look at the tags they were wearing, is expanded caucus meeting. But having said that, we want to say that the outcome is commendable. The fact that they had the guts to stand by the constitution by saying that Anyanwu has remained the national secretary of our great party, because that has been the burning issue that has been creating tension and interest groups within the party. And having checked the constitution to see that he remains this thing, those that are even saying that he should leave have come to terms with the constitution and the fact that he remains the national secretary. And for the NEC to confirm that yesterday is a plus to the NEC, and it's a victory to democracy, to internal democracy in political parties, and to the exemplary leadership of Senator Anyanwu to have, hold back and be patient and to be resilient in ensuring that this issue was resolved amicably. Because let me say something, Anyanwu is not interested in remaining as national secretary. He's not desperate about that. But what he was fighting was for justice and for equity. Let there be no, reference that Anyanwu so time so thing happened, because removing him is from the back door. It's on constitutionality and illegality. And he said, I don't care about the national secretaryship. After all, my people are calling me to be governor. They said they've made mistake, and I've got that information that they are pleading for him to come and contest. But I don't want to enshrine illegality. Following what is in the constitution in section 47(5) A part and B part, and also 48(1), I remain the national secretary. If today I bow down to pressure, it will enshrine unconstitutionality and illegality. So he was fighting for constitutionality and legality, not for him to remain as national secretary. And beside that, his term is just a few months away. By December, he will be out of that office, if that is the PDP choose to not to return him. So that is about that. The 100 NEC, as they would want to call it, is something that the outcome is commendable, and you can see it has shown some level of maturity among our leaders, and want to urge those that are still insisting on the illegality to please, as the acting national chairman has said, we don't want any further negative publicity. Nigerians are looking up to us and want to encourage Nigerians to keep faith with PDP, because we have shown leadership in resolving our issues.
All right. So quickly, because we're running out of time, one of the resolutions from the NEC was to set up a committee to review the party's 2023 performance. What would you personally want this committee to prioritize, and how would you think they would perform in the next general election 2027?
No, I think it is I think every election cycle we do that, and it's expedient we also do that, and it's commendable for such committee, because 2015 Ikweremadu committee was set up, 2019 Bala Mohammed committee was set up, and this one is good. But there are aspects that needed to be looked at. One of the issues that we had that led to the creation of the G5 was the issue of zoning. that issue should be looked at by the committee. And also there is a section 50, subsection 4 and 7, also should be looked at, whereby before the 2012 constitution as amended, if you join the party, you need to stay in the party for no less than 18 months to be able to contest for election, public office, and for appointment 1 year. But it was reviewed in 2027 that from 18 months to 1 month to accommodate the newcomers. And I believe by now our leaders have seen that by doing that they've erred, because many people jump into the party a month to elections or 2 months to election, pick tickets, and after they lost, they left. See what happened in Lagos, see what happened in Kebbi State. 3 senators came in just 3 months to the primaries, they took the ticket. But if it is the 18 months as it was in the 2012 constitution, you will be in the party, understudy the constitution and the principle and philosophy behind the party, not just jump into the party. See a whole governorship candidate in 2023 in Lagos, a month, and just jump out of the party, jump in and jump out. So we want them to also look at those aspects, and also the aspect of staff indiscipline, in the party. They also need to look at it, because it constitutes a lot of threat to the, smooth running of the party. These are some of the aspects we want the party to look at.
Thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure you being here, Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate.
Thank you for not moderating.
Yes.
I was going to say that. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
All right. That is all we have for this segment. And make sure you stay with us so that we can take a look at the front pages of our national dailies. Don't go away.